Everyone, welcome back to Space Engineers. Adam here. I'm just adding some of these nifty doors into my base. I like to have, basically, even though it's on a planet, it doesn't really need to be airtight. I like to have all these blast doors and stuff just because it makes it feel a little bit more official, like an actual space thingy would have. These doors I kind of use on different levels. I can set up action group things. Well, I don't. They're not called action groups, but I can set up timer blocks and stuff so that if there were theoretically any intruders, even though I'm playing on a single player game here, we could slow them down by closing blast doors and have guns all over the place and stuff. So the cargo bay is progressing pretty well. Lots of little things being done around the base. Got a lot of work left to do to get this hangar operational, but at least we have somewhere we can park stuff. This solar array is going to have to move over there, basically to mirror the one on the right there, because we need to have the room for the hangar bay. I'm probably going to have to disassemble it because those are attached with rotors, and I think if I try to move it with rotors, it will be bad. I'm going to start angling things, and I like to use these 1x3 blocks. They're messed up in my current, like as I am in the game right now, because they changed all the textures and some of the mods haven't been updated yet. I was thinking about putting solar panels on the roof here, but obviously the hangar is going to be a little too tall, so I'm going to have to do something different with those solar panels. I don't know what I'll do exactly. It's kind of weird to see the old graphics, because for the next few episodes I'll still have the old graphics going, but everything looks real different in my game now. So, continuing to expand the hangar bay, there's going to be one of these little side bays on each side, basically a connector for each ship so that they can charge most of my utility craft that I use in this game. I've had the habit for a long time of using batteries on them, so I don't have to deal with reactors on every little ship. It's just kind of easier for me to have central reactors that charge everything, and then all the little mining ships and stuff that are short range just charge off of the base or the ship or whatever, the mothership. And got finally somewhere to charge these two. The mining ship is charging over on the far side drop-off point, so all three of our utility ships are currently able to charge, which is going to make life easy because I don't really have to think about it. I can just hop in and it'll be ready to go. And it's also, these can be used as reserve power for the base if something terrible were to happen to the reactor room and the batteries all got destroyed and stuff. They can also keep things up and running for a very short time while we get some stuff done. I had a couple of blocks I couldn't reach on the mining ship that were incomplete, and it was one of those things where it's like I couldn't get any sort of angle in there to hit it with my hand welder. So if you come in with the big old welder, it'll get it done, because it just does like huge areas in small ships. And there you go, much better. There's one on the other side too, but this little landing pad thing is coming along nicely. I'm not exactly sure what ship is gonna go here, because I have to think about a couple things. I've still been thinking about rebuilding that rover into a little cargo ship to get out to mining sites and stuff like that, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the way I'm going to go or not yet. And we'll go ahead and bring this guy home too. Getting better at docking. I still can't do it from inside the cockpit because it's really hard to tell. Like, they have not invented the rear view mirror technology, and I don't really like using cameras in this game. I know there are mods to get rid of the horrible overlay, but it's like, we have way better cameras, and this is supposed to be like, what, 2066 I think this takes place in? It's like, come on, man. Why so bad? So I've been busily, I just want to kind of give an overview of what the base's currently status is. I've been busily mining and stuff, but I thought I'd take a moment. I get these angled blocks going up here, get the back wall of the hangar you can see next to the solar panel. This is going to be the command tower, basically. It's got the stairwell in it, and it's going to have a command deck for the whole station where I'm going to have button pads that control all the individual things. I'm also going to probably put a radio antenna up here so that we can use the scan mod. I'm trying to figure out. I know that we don't need captain's quarters and crew quarters and all that stuff, but I like to have stuff like that. It adds a little bit more of a flavor, I guess, to the game to have that. So I've been trying to figure out where exactly I'm going to put those as well. Trying to not expand the base to a ridiculous degree. I did get a couple new graphics cards, new to me graphics cards. I'm not playing with them in this game yet, but improvement in between the new textures and the new graphics cards that I have. They're GTX 970s in SLI. They're actually overclocked, and it's pretty nice. They're not top of the line anymore, obviously, but well, they were never top of the line. I guess the 980s were, but they are pretty darn fast, and I got a good deal. They were barely used, so I'm very happy about that. So back to the the salt mines, well, the iron mines in this case, I guess. And when I was gone, the solar panels just decided to fall off. I think what happened was there were changes made to the rotors at some point, and the rotor heads decided they were no longer attached to the rotor, and it's all right, I guess, because the new safety interlock thingy on the rotors is real nice. Like the solar panels have been very stable since that, but I was gonna move this anyway. So I guess it's a good opportunity to get the old grinder ship out and get to it, because one of the annoying things is, like, I play with the realistic inventory size because it seems silly to me having like 4,000 liters of inventory space, and it gives me a reason to build ships that can go do things. Because if you have the 4,000 inventory, you're basically a grinder ship or a welder ship or whatever, a one-man show. So I like to play using that stuff because it's just a little bit easier. I was a little irritated this happened, but whatever. I gotta crawl underneath here to get into the hangar. Like I said, I was going to be taking these down anyway, so it's not a huge inconvenience. It's always kind of relaxing to get into the old grinder ship or the welder ship. The grinder ship has the most miles on it, probably out of all my ships, just because I flew it back and forth so many times to disassemble the old red ship. But well, anyway, what I'm going to end up doing, it looks like the solar panel over on the other tower is drooping too, so I think what I'm going to end up to do is rebuild both of the solar things with the new rotors. I don't know why the rotors decided to malfunction with this update. Like, you know, I'm playing the dev branch at this point, so I don't know if these things would happen if I was not, because they might have stabilized it before they pushed out the update to the stable branch. But I like, especially because of the new textures are kind of what put me over the top with the whole idea of getting, like, I'm glad I ended up switching over. I didn't know they were going to be doing that, but it's nice to get the new features and whatnot, even if it does break things from time to time. Yeah, that solar panel is definitely, well, from here it doesn't look like it's drooping. I think it's drooping though. So, I'm gonna go drop these parts off, get switched over to the welder ship, and deal with that. Alright, so I got the tower started over here. These rotors have brakes on them now, which is nice, and for some reason some of the other rotors aren't showing up. It has me a little bit worried that those ones are going to randomly fall apart, but the safety brakes I think are going to be useful. And we have been running down on those solar panels for a little bit, so I'd like to get them reassembled. Let's see here. Does this have the parts I need on board? It does not. The grinding vehicle does, I believe. Or maybe not. Where the heck are all the... Are they in the connect? They're probably in the connector, right? Cargo container. Let's just look for solar components. This is weird. Okay. Which... They are in the welding vehicle. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Oh, is this thing full? Not quite. How did the grinder take all the parts? Oh well, let's get this thing reassembled. Now I'm a little bit worried every time I do this because I don't know whether... Yeah, the thrusters aren't on, are they? Oops, I hit the window key! I don't know if we're still recording. Okay, we seem to be. So, thrusters should be on, but they're not. I get out, and thrusters... There we go. Now, are they going to actually work? They're idling. When I press stuff, nothing happens. So I'm a little bit worried about disconnecting. It's scary stuff. I wish thrusters would work right. Alright, well, let's just throw caution to the wind. We're okay. Okay. I haven't had it fall yet, but it just makes me nervous because it seems like it's going to. I think we have to take the long way around here. Got a little wacky with my speed here. But, yeah, I'm going to be reorganizing this wall into more of the design that I have on the other side. I don't know if I've showed that yet, but I've changed my mind on the design a little bit. And welder is active. Very loud. Just gotta turn down my headset here. Wow. Loud welder. Even with the welder, that takes a little bit of time. I only have one welder on this ship, so not the fastest. Faster than carrying everything over manually, though. But I'm going to be out of parts, pretty much. You know, I'm going to have to go dock and get more. But I am hopeful that this will be a more safe and stable system. We have another project that I'm going to be starting very soon involving a secondary, not exactly a base, like a mobile base, I guess. I want to get my mining stuff going a little bit more efficiently so I don't have to make so many trips. Alright, let's go take a look at what's going on over here. So I've been working on this. It's going to be a docking bay, not like the landing bay, just like a landing pad kind of. For that rover is getting converted over to a cargo ship. It's going to assist in transferring cargo back and forth. We're going to go work over there on that mining rig. Probably pretty much next. I'm going to finish this up, and when we come back, we'll go start tinkering with that. Oh god, I don't want to slide into that. A little slippy slidey here. I don't have much sideward thrust, so... Well, evidently my eyes were not deceiving me. The panel was indeed drooping. It looks like the, it's just disconnected, and since there's ground over there, it's kind of jammed inside of the tower here, and it's landed down there, so... I don't think it's going to break. It's going to be a little bit scary grinding it down just because I don't want it to fall and break anything. It's not going to fall far if it falls, I guess, but it's pretty annoying that that happened. And it seems to be because, like I said, the rotors are just not showing up here, so I guess they're glitched out in some sort of a weird way. So what we got to do is grind this down and just rebuild it exactly like it was, pretty much, with new rotors, I guess. Like I said, I don't think there's really a way to do merge blocks without everything exploding. I'm going to do the other side, even though it seems like it's connected, just because it probably isn't, and it will probably do the same thing. There's really not much reason to think that it wouldn't. It's weird that it's both the ones on the left here that did. Oh, I fell in a hole. Oh well. Yeah, it's weird that it's the ones on the left that did in both cases. I really need to get an oxygen generator, because not having hydrogen, I end up having to do all kinds of silliness all the time. So here we are grinding down what we got here. Like I said, I'm a little bit concerned about things falling, but it seems like it's going. Oh, yeah, there she goes. Seems like it's going relatively well. Get this ground down and rebuild, and hopefully the solar panels will be better than ever before. Alright, so we're back down at the drill platform site. The experimentation is going to continue now. I do want to eventually make this thing mobile, but I'm not going to start off at quite that aggressive of a level, but we're going to have a bunch of pistons. Like you can see, I'm just kind of rigging this thing up here. And the idea is eventually I'm going to convert this into a ship. It's not really going to be like a ship that goes far or anything, but I want to have a ship that can move around the ice, probably be hydrogen powered, and it can get its own fuel because we have ice everywhere here. And hydrogen should give me a lot of thrust, and I shouldn't need a giant reactor on board either then. So what do I have here? 5 or 6 pistons, I think, and I don't think that's probably going to be necessary, but I kind of want to see how far down these resource patches go. I'll probably end up shortening it at some point, but also I just wanted to see how pistons would actually interact with each other. So this is where the welding ship really comes in handy. I know this isn't necessary to reinforce these, but I'm just paranoid with all the weight on there. I don't want something happening where it breaks, and it's a lot easier to break a one steel block than it is if it's fully welded. So it doesn't cost anything, just a little tiny bit of time here, and get it welded up well enough. So getting the pistons going, I'm almost certainly going to have to make a couple trips back to base because those piston heads require a lot of steel tubes for some reason. I don't really understand why. I guess because they have a conveyor system and stuff in them. I don't know. But pistons always scare me. They're kind of the most terrifying thing in the world, really. Pistons and probably rotors are scarier, but pistons and rotors are used with what I'm trying to do here. So going to be kind of terrifying. Hopefully it won't all explode. I'm going to probably blueprint the ship, even though that doesn't exactly help because, well, I guess I could just copy and paste. I have copy and paste disabled on this save, but it would be sad if it exploded because of a glitch, but it probably will at some point. So might as well save our progress as we go. And there's no power on the base, so the whole rotor is just kind of dead. Freewheeling. So it's just going to kind of do its thing here, I guess. And I need tons of more large steel tubes. Just steel tubes all day long, small and large. So gotta go pick up some more. Looks like we're pretty much out of parts now. Alright, so we have got more parts. Gonna just go down the line, make sure everything is nice and welded up. It already looks so precarious and dangerous, but I'm hoping what we can do with this thing is to really just get hundreds of thousands of units of ores with this, leave them on there. This isn't going to travel loaded. I'm going to have a ship that's going to come and pick up the supplies and bring them back to base to be refined. It's not going to have refineries or anything on board either. It's just going to be strictly to pick up iron, nickel, mainly, anything that's out in these big ice patches. Like, I'm probably not going to use it for cobalt and stuff because when are we going to ever need that much cobalt? But iron and nickel are going to be the primary things that we're after with it. And I'm just going to keep welding away at this thing here. I think I'm going to end it here for today. And in the next episode, we will turn it on and actually see if it works. With all the safety features they've added to pistons and rotors, I feel a lot more confident that we'll be able to keep this thing together. And it won't just instantly explode when I turn it on. But I guess we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate the support. And I'll see you next time.